We just finished up our MP9 Ready Set to a Race Buggy Conversion series, where we broke down cost for cost all the items we put into this car to convert it into a race buggy, and so many people were like, yo, you should have just started with the race buggy in the first place. So with the MP10T Truggy just being released, we thought it'd be a good time to grab this kit, unbox it, see what's included and see what isn't, and then I've got all the items needed to actually finish off this kit, and then I think in the end, we're gonna give something away. The MP10T is based off of the Kyosho MP10 race buggy, and it's essentially a buggy that just went go gadget arms. Truggies are a little bit wider, a little bit longer, and they're a little bit more forgiving on the track and easier to drive. They are a bit more power hungry, and then they require bigger, bit more expensive tires. But this MP10T is a really nice competition grade truggy kit. The body, on the other hand, So if we flip the box around, we have some fancy pictures of the truck, all the little features and stuff, and then we have our guy here, Yuchi Kanai. Got a handle on the box here. Got a little sticker here on the box. Says inspected by no Gucci. All right, I don't use Gucci either. Wrong Gucci, Brett. Gucci spelled G-U-C-C-I. No Gucci is actually the name of a famous Japanese-American artist and landscape architect, and there's actually a museum in his honor in the Bronx, New York. All right, so first thing I'm grabbing, manual, decals, antenna straw. Woo. We have our side guards. I read that these are new and improved, lighter, less material. Cool. So this looks like the rear wing stay area. Look at that aluminum rear shock tower. That's probably 5-6 mils in that gunmetal anodized. We also get these like almost neon yellow bushing inserts. That is the one-piece rear wing stay. This looks like our rear hubs, rear sway bar, rear chassis brace, rear CVDs. These rear hubs are plastic with some aluminum hexes on there. Bearings, everything needed for that rear end. So here is the bag for the front end. These are the hubs here. They are plastic, suspension arms, more CVDs. The suspension pins I read, the inner suspension pins have been beefed up, they're bigger. Oh, here's our steering knuckle. Yeah, I know, you guys can't see that well. That's an aluminum steering knuckle. They're marked for left and right, and then a big old beefy front aluminum front shock tower. Of course, also in that gunmetal. It's a new black wing with these little gurney flaps. Here are the steering parts. The steering servo saver has a threaded nut on there that's aluminum. It's all assembled. The steering rack is also aluminum. Thought that would be a locking nut on that servo saver, but it's not. All right, here is our fuel tank, our fuel line. There's a fuel filter in there. Here's our radio box. There's also our aluminum radio tray plate. The fuel tank is supposedly redesigned to be a little bit more crash resistant and to ensure you always have a nice supply of fuel, even if you're on your lid. So here we have our plastic servo horns. There is also our throttle linkage body clips. Over here we have our rubber boot and our air filter housing and our air filter that is not oiled. It will need to be pre-oiled. Here we've got our engine parts. There's the one-piece clutch bell. It's all milled out. It's very vented. There are 3-piece clutch shoes in there. They are aluminum as well as our aluminum engine blocks. Basically all the clutch parts. What's this? These are our brake pads, our brake assembly, the center differential housing. The brake pads have been redesigned on the MP10. There's also the steering plate that goes over the steering post assembly. That's aluminum, as well as the center differential housing plate. That's aluminum in the gunmetal. And then the big bag o' diffs. So we have our front and rear gear boxes, as well as all the parts needed for the diff, the center drive lines, the grease, the bearings, the shims. And then one of the last bags we have here are the shocks with these purple springs. These shocks are always smooth from Kyosho. They're all aluminum, threaded bodies, aluminum top caps. There are pistons attached to these little parts trees, along with our little spring perches here on the bottom. But I see in there are some nice Delrin machine pistons in a bag. wheel nut wrench, 17 mil. Here is our body. So, look at the front end on that thing. So the body is not cut out. It is marked for all where the holes need to be popped and the engine, fuel tank, etc. There is an overspray film on the body. It says that it's ISB 104. These little fins right here are pretty snazzy. I like that. That's just a little extra downforce. And then this big recessed pocket back here, just to have all that air swooping over the top, coming back here, cooling off your engine cooling head. And then last but not least, we have the chassis in the box that's actually taped to the bottom of the box. But it's a 3mm chassis, it's CNC machined. It has a little bit of kick up in the front, but it's very milled out. There's a lot of pockets here to help reduce the weight of the chassis without sacrificing strength. Okay, did you guys notice what was and wasn't included in the box? There were no shock fluid, no differential fluid, no tires, no wheels, and of course no radio equipment or engine equipment. And this kit, the MP10T, comes at a price of about $720. So if I was to pick this kit up, and I'm gonna do it up to be a proper race machine, I'm gonna buy some good stuff. So this is how I would outfit it. I'd first throw in a ProTech LiPo, high voltage. I'd then plop in two ProTech 170 TBL servos because CJ Jellin told me to. These things are 0.11 seconds at transit speed at high voltage, and they have over 580 ounces of torque, throttle and servo. And then for the power, I throw in an RO3. This is the ProTech Samurai engine. There's an RO3 and the SO3. The RO3 has more power. The SO3 is a little bit smoother, almost kind of like a buggy and a truggy engine, but the RO3's got more power, which I want for a truggy. And then for the pipe, I throw in the 2090. There are two different pipe options. This is the torquier one. Then there's also the 2100, which is better for top speed, but I want that power and torque for the bigger, heavier truggy. We need some tires and wheels, so I've got here some Proline buckshots in the S3 compound, just so I can get a little bit of wear out of my truggy tires. And then we need some wheels. These are the Velocities from Proline. It's a pack of 4 white dish truggy wheels with 0 offset. And then last but not least, I picked up a pack of these pre-oiled air filters for the Kyosho specifically. These things are awesome. So the kit actually came with its own air filter, but then you need some air filter oil. And then of course this isn't everything because these tires and wheels would need glue. And then there's no radio gear here, just assuming that you probably have some. There's no starter box here. And then if we're gonna be racing, we need a transponder, but it's something probably you already have. It's something I already have. I would just throw in mine into the kit. So if you're familiar with the prices and all this stuff, we started with $720 on that kit, and then we added in all these items, specifically the servos and the engine gear. It's pretty pricey, premium stuff. This gear is really for top-notch, serious enthusiasts. So I'm not gonna talk about how much the total price is for all of this. I don't wanna put anybody into shock, but if you're good at math, you can figure this out on your own. But instead of building this truck up and putting it on the track, I think we're gonna give it away to one of...
Brett, you can't give away that stuff.
What about the servos?
No.
The air filters?
Okay, fine.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna put this pack of air filters inside the kit. Whoever buys this one and only MP10T is gonna get that pack of 12 pre-oiled air filters. We're not putting air filters in all the kits, just this one kit that we opened. If you have any questions or comments, leave that for us down below, and you can find more info to any of this stuff by checking out our links down below. I'm Brett from AMain Hobbies. Thanks for watching.